So welcome.
Welcome to everybody who is joining us. So our special Labor Day edition is off and running. I'm Dr. Willie Jolley, and this is my beautiful bride. We're newlyweds, Dee Taylor-Jolley. We're newlyweds. June 28th, we celebrated 36 years of marriage. So we're just getting started. Hello, Lynthia. And
Hey, Miss Borley.
Miss Borley, one of the great
Such a great hostess.
Oh, hostess with the mostest. That's what she was. We spent the night with her and her husband, my lifelong friend, Ronnie Borley, on Thursday night because he said,
"Hi, Cherise.
What would you like for your birthday?" And I said, I want to go to the beach. I've never been to Rehoboth. So we spent the night with them on Thursday night and got up early for me.
That was 9 o'clock.
Yeah. And went to Rehoboth, and he took us up, and we had a fabulous day on the beach. Many of you have seen my Facebook post about me catching a wave and people standing at the seashore going, "That's a 10, that's a 10, you are awesome."
He asked for feedback.
I wanted feedback. So Cerise Crawford, thank you. Welcome everybody. The info at Willie Jolley, WILLIE JOLLEY. There you go. JOLLEY.
Send us information.
All right, then you can send us info. We're the authors of the book that is now one of the most popular marriage books around.
But it really isn't just for marriage. I've been saying that. The information here is necessary for people who are not yet married.
Oh, there's a chapter in there for
give
people.
Not just that. I disagree. There is a chapter for not yet married, but the information overall gives great insight for people who are even thinking about it.
And I don't disagree. So make love, make money, make it last. 10 Secrets to Shape a Great Marriage. You can get the book at jollymarriage.com. That's what we recommend because you get the best discounts there. And when you get 2 books, you get a great deal, one for you and one for your significant other. Of course, you can always get it at Amazon. But we
get Amazon orders too. So
yeah, but we recommend
whichever way works for
whatever works for you. But we recommend jollymarriage.com. That way you can get it autographed because we'll autograph those ones. Okay, so that's great. Thank y'all for joining us on this special edition, Labor Day edition of Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last.
Okay, say the first thing about your birthday, then I can get to Labor Day.
So, y'all see.
I got him some balloons.
Happy birthday, happy birthday. I celebrated my birthday on, my birthday was on Friday.
The 3rd.
The 3rd of September, a day I always remember. And we have celebrated all weekend long. I've had a great birthday weekend. It's been fabulous, fantastic, incredible. And my wife has been awesome. She's awesome anyway. So jollymarriage, that's correct for the marriage.
Yes.
Book. Yes. All right. So I'm gonna put that there. Okay, I got it. Okay.
Okay.
All right, let's get going with today. We want to talk about a number of things. This is a mailbag.
And what is mailbag?
Mailbag is some of the questions we've gotten in over the last few months, okay, that we try to occasionally get to in terms of...
We're going to do better at that. What about mailbag once a month? Because some of these you've actually had to answer via phone calls and the like too.
That's correct. And so we've got some mailbag stuff I'm going to send to both of us. And then I'll read some of these that have come in on my phone. Boom, bam. Okay, thank you, ma'am. And so that's done. Bam.
Okay, so before we do mailbag,
let's talk about a little bit, about what you wanted to
because
give some insight.
I'm the political science history person here, so I just wanted to say, yes, it is Labor Day.
Yeah.
Yes, it is a federal holiday.
Yeah.
And we should remember why it is a federal holiday, right?
Okay.
And the whole idea of Labor Day actually officially became Labor Day in 1894 You used to kind of study history by what happened in this year versus this year. But Labor Day is really the result of the pain and suffering for people during the Industrial Revolution, when the machinery and the like, the agriculture was decreasing and we were coming into the industrial age and the use of machinery.
Right.
And the labor conditions were so bad that children, even as young as 5 and 6 years old, were required to work for pennies on the dollar.
Wow.
But the adults really didn't make that much money and the conditions were horrible. Okay. So as a result of strikes, as a result of deaths and fights and all this other kind of stuff, the union was necessary to protect the rights of people who were just struggling to make ends meet.
Yeah.
So it was during that Industrial Revolution that the union really became a necessity and became powerful.
Wow.
So Labor Day actually went into effect in 1894 with the president Grover Cleveland. They're like, we don't really know who the individual was, but the credit is given to Grover Cleveland. And that's why we have Labor Day.
You see her little suntan? She looks cute, doesn't she?
Because I was at the beach.
So thank you for that history lesson. She,
You're welcome,
she was a
dear.
history teacher before she became a entrepreneur, and
By default, that's another conversation.
that's a whole nother conversation. And so I've been celebrating my birthday Friday. My friend took us to Ronnie Borley, Lynn Borley's husband, and Lynn went with us, and they were gracious hosts Thursday night. And we went to Rehoboth. Saturday, we were with our trust attorney, Amy Griffin, for a big barbecue she and her husband coordinated out in Virginia. And Sunday, I had a little Zoom birthday party, and my friend Les Brown jumped on to say greetings to everybody. It was fantastic, and I was blessed to have 2 of my teachers from school.
You know, they must have been old.
My first grade teacher, who's in her 90s, and then my junior high school homeroom teacher, who was 102.
I thought you said it was 4th and 5th graders.
No. Miss Tyrus was my homeroom teacher and my biology teacher.
Oh, okay.
In junior high, and she's 100, going on 102. Just as lucid and just as
in her
feminine.
right mind.
Oh
It's
my
amazing.
God, it was fantastic. So we had Delatora McNeil, Les Brown spoke. Clarice Fluid is on. That's my sassy girl next to me, Dr. Clarice, Dr. Clarice
You're
was on
such a
the
sweetheart. I
Get
love
Motivated
you.
tour with us. She is sassy and beautiful and foxy and turns me on. And after
Tell Dr. Tandy hi. I know she must be around the corner someplace.
So let's talk about Dr. Fluid is one of the people who's featured in our book. She has quoted in our book. She's been married, I think, 65 years.
Put in how long you've been
Yes, put
married.
in the chat, Dr. Clarice, how many years you've been married. I think it's 65 or so, something like that. And she is gorgeous and brilliant and incredible. And her husband, George, is just an incredible gentleman. Okay, let's talk about some questions that we've been getting. This is mailbag night. We're going on no specific topic. Terrence E. from Gray Sr., what's up, my man? Glad to have you. Here's what we got. My spouse has spent money on some personal things that we did not discuss that came out of our money, our household money, or our money. It just said money. And this is not the first time she has done it, and I'm sick and tired of it. What do I do? Simple. This is simple. When I got this question, and I said, this one's simple. A system. We talk about chapter number 10, that there are 3 systems for money management that we have discovered. There's the one-pot system, which we found were people who typically was the predominant system for people who were right out of high school or right out of college, got married. They had nothing. So all the money went into one pot and one person was responsible, and they discussed that. Then the two-pot system was people who were a little older, typically in their late 20s, who might have an apartment, maybe a little car note. Well, what they did was that they found, and the Borleys were ones who did that and brought that to our attention because their parents had done it. One took the mortgage, one took the utilities, one took this, one took that. So that's usually, again, late 20s. But then people who are in their 30s or 40s, which this guy said he's in, they had the 3-part system, which is what we have. Now, Dee came to the marriage, had been married before, 1, and 2, had bought a home and sold a home. And so she had a life and a whole system. I had lived with my mama. Yes, it's true. I lived with my mama, but I was very focused on finances, and I had a checking account, a savings account. So what we did was I put her on my checking and savings account. She put me on all her accounts, and then we created a budget for our household. And
so you open a separate. So
a
what
third,
the bottom line?
A third
is,
account.
There are 3 accounts.
I have one, you have one, and we have one that's household. And we put money in the household account, and that is budgeted for rent, mortgage, utilities, whatever. All of it's budgeted.
All the common.
Everything budgeted.
The common.
Right. And then if she needs to go buy a pair of shoes with her money in her account, I don't care. We got that covered. And if I want to go buy a new iPhone, iTunes, or some sort of techie toy, no problem. Now, if something happens to me, her name's on my account. Something happens to her, my name is on her account. It has created a system where we have never in 36 years had an argument about our personal finances. Have we? Never.
No, because there are individual.
Well, we got a system. It works. So I'm saying I say to that person who sent that letter in, that's the secret. Get that 3-part system, get the book, go through it, listen to it, read it, whatever, the audio book or the physical book, and then use the system.
Let me add, I think it's important that you know your money personality too.
Okay.
Because if, according to that particular email, they've done this before. Well, if they've done this before and you've had the same reaction, one would think, maybe there's something else I need to be doing here.
Such as? I mean, tell me.
Such as dumping all the money together because it's not working. So emotionally.
We got past that. Well, now, why don't you first talk about the money personalities that I know you want to talk about because you brought it up.
That might be an issue.
Okay, it might be an issue, but it is that.
And wait, I'm not done.
All right.
And the fact that maybe this person is controlling, and that's why they want.
But if you got a system, it doesn't make a difference.
Might not want the system.
Oh, but you got to have a system. If you don't have a system,
see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
there
but if you don't have
personalities, they don't. Okay, so we're saying.
I'm saying to you, this supersedes.
Here's how to develop a way so y'all can all get along, and this is not driving you crazy.
Okay,
I'm saying there are people like they want to be controlling.
That's understandable. People want to be controlling, but if the system is in place, then the system works. It has worked for us.
So you have to agree to have a system.
There you go.
That's all. You have to agree.
Well, you got to agree on a system. To have a system and which system you're going to use. And we found it was, and our research showed it was stage and age. Okay. So now let's go to the next question. Go again, get a money system and use it. We have a blended family. I was telling my wife how it made me feel to deal with one of my children who was having some problems and was problematic. And my wife then talked about how it made her feel and ignored how it made me feel and that I was struggling with this already. It's not about her. What can I do about this?
What? Could you read that again?
Okay, we have a blended family, and I was telling my wife how something made me feel with dealing with one of my children who was problematic. And my wife then kind of spoke up and said, well, she was feeling in her feelings too, and ignored how I was feeling and how I was struggling. And it was all about her, and it's not about her. What can I do about this? Woo! Now we're one of the books we're working on, and we've not really.
I think everybody needs to be just quiet.
All right, but no, one of the books we're working on is blended families, which we've dealt with.
That's because we're a blended family.
We are a blended family, so we want to get some insights into blended family and how we've worked through it and worked with it and so forth. But this question sounds like to me that it's about the husband feels that he got two problems. The daughter problem. Now the wife is not giving him
listening.
No, giving him space to feel like she should be supporting his hurt feelings. And she said, well, this girl has gotten on my nerves and she made it about her. Well, my thought is this, that this is one of these times when you must have the difficult conversation, which we call the critical conversation, which is if your feelings are hurt about this, why don't you tell your wife that, one, be friendly. Hey, I'm not trying to create a problem, but be frank about your feelings. But I need a little help here. Mom, you hurt my feelings when you said that you jumped over my feelings and went right to your feelings. That hurt my feelings. So now I got to dealing with this problematic child and my feelings are hurt from you. I needed your support. Be frank about your feelings. Be fair. Listen to their side. Maybe you'll find out something that you didn't know about their side about listening, aggressively listening. Or what was the word you used other than aggressively listening the other day? Active listening. We did a training for our church on going back into the church. We do our first touch. We did for all the 400 greeters and ushers and all of that. And we did the training on customer service and how you shift as you now go into this COVID reality. And she talked about active listening. So be friendly, be frank, be fair, active, listen, and then be focused on a win-win. You want to leave the table, both of you feeling like you won. Don't attack each other. Fix the problem. Work together on the problem. So would you agree with that? You have another perspective on that. You want me to read it one more time?
One more time.
We have a blended family. I was telling my wife how it made me feel to deal with one of my children who has problems. It was problematic. And my wife then talked about how it made her feel. She got in her feelings and ignored that I was struggling with this already. It is not about her, my wife. Mm-hmm. It's about giving me a little support. What can I do about this? How do you handle it?
So why wouldn't he simply say, I just need you to listen and to be empathetic? That's really what he's saying.
That's exactly what he's saying. I need you not to think about how it impacts you, but give me a little love here. It's hurting me.
And for the spouse who then feels the need to jump in and say, well, you know what? They were doing this. And so sometimes it's just good to be quiet.
All right.
Just to be quiet and listen. That's a form of support. Just to be quiet and listen.
Okay. I'm good with that.
And then you can respond much. I mean, I have been there. Stuff happens. All right. Chasing daughter down the street or listening in on the phone, picking up the receiver very quietly. How was I supportive?
You were very supportive.
And I was quiet.
You were quiet. Except to me. She was
later. Not when you were actually going
you were in my
that.
ear later.
However I could be, but not in the midst when you were going through and with the struggles, right?
Here's one that's very interesting. My husband does not hold my hand or give me compliments, and it would be nice to have some every now and then and be romanced once in a while. What do you do then?
I think you have to teach him.
Teach him. And how do you teach him? By demonstrating. Okay. And then how do you get him to go along and continue to do it?
Make him feel good, and then they'll reciprocate.
You hook him up.
Everything goes back to sex. Well, he might not want to be hooked up. Maybe it's a meal. Maybe it's something
That, you know what, folks? I often say men need to be hooked up often, and it's true. I need to be hooked up often, but everybody might not have the same. We're going to talk. In fact, we got a question another question that just came up. But they got something. They might need a meal. But give them something that they like and say, you know what? It would be so nice if we had a little more romance. Even said both need a class on emotions. We're going to all do better without emotional intelligence. Okay. And so we're saying to everybody, communication. Go back to communication. Talking
sex, money, communication.
It really is come down to.
And communication is the common thread. I think it is such a blessing to be able to express yourself to your spouse in a way that they actually get what you're feeling.
Right.
And that's something that you can work at, because you really have to study. And I can only speak for myself, because I had to learn how to say what I was thinking in a fashion where you would get me, and I would mull things over, because you would just.
That goes along with what echo was the next question.
And I'm thinking through and not really. So I had to work at expressing myself to you so that you really understood what I was feeling. And that was work for me.
Okay. But you were willing to do the work.
I'm also an introvert.
Yeah.
So I could keep everything inside and mull it over and never really say it. But in order to get the response from you that I wanted, I had to work at that communication thing. And I think it's very different for people who are introverts or who are not as overly expressive as you are. How about that?
Well, that goes right with the next one. My wife is not warm and fuzzy. She does the necessary household things that we do around the house, but never shows any affection. Sure would be nice to have some affection. What do you do? Well, that's conditioning. She just said it. She was not warm and fuzzy as a part of her nature. Her mother was warm and fuzzy. Her father was not. Her brother is warm and fuzzy.
Over the top.
Over the top. She was more like her dad. And so when we got married, it wasn't warm and fuzzy. She was loving, but not warm and fuzzy. But it was conditioning. Little by little, I conditioned her.
I think it's important. What is warm and fuzzy for one person might not be that for another. But to demonstrate and say everything is like, one-on-one. Show me what warm and fuzzy is. Show me what you need.
Well, you gotta want to.
And you demonstrated that, and then I learned how to reciprocate. Absolutely. Because of how you responded when I did it.
That's right. And then I'd go over the top, tell her how much I loved it. Oh, yeah. And then little by little, it's like being an entrepreneur. She did not want to be an entrepreneur, but little by little, I convinced her, let's give it a shot. 1 day a week, then 2 days a week, then 3 days a week, then 4 days a week. She left her job.
Let me just say, it's hard work.
Yeah, it is.
But you really love it, and I love you.
Come on. I love it. All right, we got 5 minutes, because y'all know. Send any more questions. We maybe have to do this again next week. I got still more questions.
Larry Long.
Hey, Larry Long.
Yes.
Nice to see you, my friend. Sherry Elliott, I love you. Thank you for your coming on. Terrence E. from Gray. Will Moreland. Clarice Fluid, we love her. Betty Speaks, Renee Starr Allen, James T. Anderson. These folks are coming in. Cherie Crawford, beautiful, beautiful young lady who's about to run for citywide city council here in Washington.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, we need to talk. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm so proud of her. And then Olympia.
I guess I didn't read my email.
Olympia Boylan. Now, you missed out. Me and William were on the Zoom with her.
Oh, okay. That's wonderful.
So look, or the video. That's not Zoom. Okay, we got so many questions. Here's a very important one. My husband had a prostate issue, and it has affected our sex life. And I love my husband. He's a good man. But I need sexual satisfaction. And I've tried to bring it up to him, but he doesn't want to talk about it. What do I do? Woo, woo, woo,
Oh,
woo.
I think that's complicated because that deals with self-esteem also.
Well,
Self-esteem.
so a couple things playing here. When you tell a man that he's not performing or you need more performance and he doesn't perform or he has an ability to perform, it really has an impact. Every man thinks, I'm Big Daddy, I can bring it. Okay, every man thinks that. Okay, let me tell you, every man thinks that. And so when you say that, it doesn't, then. So what do? Here's what you do. You must be careful with your words. First, ladies, if you're dealing with a man, and Terrence said, what was the shoe on the other foot? What would she want him to do? Conversation, open and honest conversation, but without being hurtful, and saying maybe you need to see a medical professional. Maybe there's some other options.
It is such a touchy issue.
But you got to talk. If she's not happy, she got to talk. This goes back to communication.
Mm-hmm.
And look, if you communicate, communication is the most important part of marriage. Because if you communicate well, you communicate well, your sex life is going to be better. You communicate well, your money life is going to be better. So communication is the critically important part of a marriage. That's why the biggest chapter in our book is about communication, and that's the chapter we give away. Chapter number 4, we give it away to everybody who wants it. Go to jollymarriage.com or A Jolly Marriage. I don't care which one you go to, Jolly Marriage or A Jolly Marriage, and get that free chapter. Give it to everybody you know, and then tell them if they want the book.
Sex performance is a touchy subject.
Yes, but it starts with communication. You do have to talk about it, don't you?
Yes.
It's how you talk about it.
Yes.
It's how you talk about it.
You don't
like the friend who said, hurt his ego.
Hurt
his
your
ego.
mate's ego.
Yep. Like the one who said, is that all you got? Ooh, ouch. When I heard that was sad. I said, no.
Honey, let's focus on the prostate.
No, so the prostate. Here's what I was told. I called, trying to answer this, I called a couple urologists. And urologists said there are all sorts of new options. There are lots of options. I won't go into them, but there are a lot of new options.
So call the urologist.
Call your urologist and say, I need you to talk to you.
Go as a couple?
You don't need to go as a couple, just to get him to go and have a conversation, because there are lots of new options. And of course, I want to encourage those others who might not have a prostate issue. Ashwagandha, Eleuthero, Damiana. They're natural. You get them at the natural food store.
So the more you use it,
the better you get. The stronger. I don't need no little pill. I got natural stuff. In a little bottle, I put a little bit in a glass of water in the morning. And, woo! You know what I'm saying?
You're so outrageous.
Okay, our time is up. It's 9:30. We got more questions. You got questions, send them to us. We'll do another mailbag soon. Info@williejolly.com. Info@williejolly.com.
Ephraim says learn together. I think that's
okay, learn together. She can go to his doctor with him. Okay, then that's okay, Ephraim. I don't disagree. And learn what he's going through and work as a team and use common sense. Ephraim, you got some good ideas. You know that I love talking to you. And so, look, Terrence, Ephraim, great. Terrence, to SR Terrence on Instagram.
And what if the shoe was on the other foot?
Yeah. Now, I want to thank everybody who sent birthday greetings. Some sent cash apps. Thank God for everybody who did that. I bless you, bless you, bless you. And I just want to say thank you. I had a significant birthday this year, and so I'm very grateful. God has blessed me.
What does that mean?
Significant means it ends in an O or a 5.
Oh, you just said you were 65.
I was 65.
This mystery.
Well, I said it's significant.
Okay, dear.
Significant.
All right.
65 and thrive.
And
feeling
you're
fine,
thriving.
feeling great.
And
Did
all
a
your parts
40
work.
my parts work. Did a 40-mile bike ride this afternoon, 40 miles, and I'm on here with y'all now. And we had a birthday celebration. We'll eat some cake and a little bit of ice cream and
Fall asleep.
and well, I might not fall asleep until later. So I'm saying good night. Love you, Lynn. Love everybody. God bless you. If you want to reach out to me, I don't mind telling you. Cash App is WJ Speaks Sing. WJ Speaks Sing. I'm taking all the greetings and gifts and blessings anybody want to send my way. Bless you. Grateful for you.
Love you. Thank you for joining us.
Much, much, much. Thank y'all. Tell Lottie, Dottie, and everybody join us Monday nights, 9 o'clock on Eastern on A Jolly Marriage on Facebook. A Jolly Marriage on Instagram. Kim Yancey said, tell Sandra we said hello. You and that beautiful bride of yours and your children. And
love you guys.
Love you guys. We can't. I'll be in Dallas end of September.
September 22nd and 23rd.
Yeah, but we'll be in and out because we got to go to Nito Cobain's event the next day. But man, good to hear from you, Kim. You know we love you guys and want to love everybody. I am grateful that I must be grateful. My dad died at 63. My brother died at 48. So I'm the longest living male in our household. And I'm grateful that God has blessed me. That's a blessing. So my wife and I, we still enjoying each other. And we're just grateful. So happy birthday. Many more for you all as you come up. And this a great week. I thank the Borleys for taking me to the beach. And I want to thank all the people who have helped to make this a great birthday. Love you guys. Have a great week on purpose. And remember for sure, your best is yet to come. This is Dr. Willie Jolley, Dee Jolley. Jolley out. God bless y'all.